Welcome back to the channel, folks. My name is Rene Enriquez, and you are watching Uncensored. We're going to continue with the Past the Wire series. In this call, I'm going to give you a second dose of Tonito Lopez in the continuing series Past the Wire. In this call, Tonito's going to speak with one of his secretaries is Blackie, who places all his calls for him. But they're going to be speaking with Joseph Ledesma. Joseph Ledesma is Danger from Longo. And there's a little story behind that. I know this guy personally. I actually testified in the grand jury in this case with these series of calls here. And a funny story, little side story. At one point I was in Ironwood State Prison. It was the only place in the state of California I could be put or placed because I was 812 by so many inmates. And an 812 is a separatee order for the CDC. And you get 812 when people declare you an enemy or they have debriefed on you or included you in the debrief somehow. You're automatically separated. Well, I had testified in Ledesma's case that I should have automatically been separated from him. But I didn't mind when he showed up on my yard. This was in Ironwood State Prison. He ended up showing up to the yard after I testified in this case. And I recall I started hearing rumors like, hey, this guy's going to get you. He's talking to his homeboys. And even the guys from Longo, that specific gang that Danger was from, began approaching me and telling me that Danger had intended to do me some harm. But I'm a firm believer in barking dogs don't bite. So I didn't 812 him. I didn't do anything to get him removed from the yard. In fact, I waited to see him. One day while coming out of the captain's office, I was a captain's clerk. Somebody approached me and says, hey, Danger's over there and he wants to speak with you. So I walk over there to the Hamel Courts in Ironwood, B Yard. And who was there but Danger Ledesma, squatting down with about 4 or 5 of his homeboys from Longo. And I approached him and I talked to him, really briefly. It was, hey, I heard you want to do something. If you're going to do it, you should do it. Now, I hope you don't want any problems, because I sure don't. But on the same token, I'm definitely certain you don't want any problems with me. And he said, no, I don't want any problems. I said, well, you're talking all that high power smack. You're talking about doing this and doing that. And, well, here I am. And then I talked to him about, hey, you might want to stay on the yard. It's a nice yard. I don't have a problem with you. You're not my enemy. This was just business, what I do. And he told me he wanted to leave the yard. And he says, why don't you go in there and 812 me? He wanted me to go into the office and say that I couldn't be on the yard with him. But I told him, I'm not going to do that. And I said, I'm not going to do that, bro. I said, you can go in there and do that. If you want to leave the yard, you have to make the request. He said, well, can you go in there and tell him I want to talk to him and tell him what's going on? I said, I could do that. I said, but understand, as soon as I say that, you're going to the hole. They're going to take you to the hole. They're not going to remove me. They're going to remove you. And I said this in front of all his homeboys right there. A couple other guys were there that I knew from Longo. And that's exactly what I did. I went in there and said, hey, this guy wants to leave the yard because I testified in this case. And they ran out there and got him. Because there was a huge error on the CDC's part. But I hear later that he's on the next yard saying that I had him removed from the yard, which was completely comical. I mean, I didn't do that. Tonito from Wilmas, who is now deceased. And it's an in-depth conversation about crew business. And you'll hear that now.
This is Global Tel-Link. Your call may be monitored or recorded. You have a collect call from Michael, an inmate in Men's Central Jail. To hear the maximum cost of this call, press 9. If you wish to accept and pay, your call is being connected. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, do I have Danger's phone number? Is it 323?
No,
So that ain't his?
that's Rudy.
Yeah, okay, that's Rudy. Okay.
Hey, ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. Hello.
Hey, Steve. Hello. Hey, what's up?
Okay. Real quick, the primo, trouble, he was having a little issues with about the platoon. Now, I know him personally at the platoon, at him from serious level to 4 minutes to a 4 level where they were trying to take each other's in. So
So the individual you hear speaking now is Joseph Ledesma. He's talking about a specific incident in which an individual by the name of Platoon is creating problems.
We're trying to what?
They were trying to take each other's wind.
Oh, okay.
Get the fuck out, man. Oh, I don't got it, man. I don't know what's that, man. Get the fuck out of here. So anyhow, the other Platoon, he's been on a lot of these as far as get out, man. I'm talking, man.
What happened?
Anyway, recently that he went over there to a foundation of yours and was requesting that some of the fellas to go ahead and roll with him, that they're going the wrong way and whatnot, and I heard about this, and well, the other day, some fellas told me that he was busted. However, he's not, because recently I was in my neighborhood yesterday, and my homeboy told me that they were drinking at a bar with him. And ran into him. So, I'm thinking, is that a go?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
but but be real careful and be real smart about it, okay?
So, just the words, is that a go? It's understood that they're going to eliminate this person. And it's pretty overt. I mean, it's pretty out in the open what they're speaking about it. I mean, Ray Charles could see this, and it doesn't take that much of an expert to interpret this type of communication. But again, you've heard one previous call from Tonito Lopez, who's now deceased. He was killed by the Mexican Mafia. He was actually killed by two Sureños at Calipatria in 2006. And you see the manner in which he communicates. You'd think that there'd be some discretion. These are mobsters, professional criminals, but this is 99.9% of the calls. So they speak overtly. They have no type of tact when it comes to discussing business. And I think part of that comes in because they already have life sentences and they don't care. They don't care if they get another life sentence. If they got indicted and got to stay in the county jail for a bit longer, that would be great for them. And they don't really care who gets indicted with them. So I'm going to start this again so we can continue with the call.
Don't let nobody know nothing. Just get one guy, and that's it. Be real careful with that shit. Nobody else needs to be around or know nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I sure will. También I have I'm going to meet with a good camarada of mine from L Street. He's a youngster, but he's really out there. So I'm going to ask him if he could give me the whereabouts of the termite, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Hey, like I was telling homeboy earlier, I want to bring all the resources together because I want to get an attorney. It's going to cost about $30K, right?
So before we get into the attorney stuff, this is another individual they've been looking for was termite. I recall in the previous calls I did that this is an individual that they wanted to reach out and touch. And by that, I mean touch.
Okay.
So I'm not saying we have to do it right away, but I'm just saying, hey,
may be monitored or recorded.
Let's start getting that together so that, we got all our resources out there. Let's start putting that together so that I can get somebody on my case. You know what I mean?
Hey, también I just spoke with Chato from Planton.
Chapo?
Chato.
Chato from Planton, 14th Street?
Yes.
I don't know him.
Oh, he said that he was writing you, and you were in correspondence with him, and that I guess he's in like Soledad or Susanville or something.
Okay, well then he might be because there's a lot of people that I write to. I just don't know because their old ladies write or whatever,
Yeah. Well, he said, he's part of the establishment, and he's over there with the homie Peanut from Bosai, he's the son of Pat.
He's the son of who?
Pat. Senor Pat.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? Somebody did write to me and tell me that.
So the individual they're speaking about, Peanut from Otay, is the actual son of Albert Marquez. That's Bat from Del Sol, a really notorious Mexican Mafia member, was a hitman for the cartels. Made Mexican Mafia member and did high-volume drug deals from Mexico to the U.S. So I remember this incident. I remember pretty clearly when Pat's son got incarcerated. It spread, throughout the organization, as most of this stuff does.
He's over So it's oh yeah, somebody did write to me recently and tell me that that he was over there with somebody and with somebody's son, and that they were working right there. Yeah.
Well, I guess homeboy Matt wanted to clarify everything, so when he called me, I said, Simon, homie, that's a primo of ours on behalf of T, and are respectful to your jefito. We're not trying to take over yours or whatever you got established. We're just asking if we can work together. We all for one. He said, Simon, homie, I just wanted to get at you. They shot me some feria. I got 5. They shot me 500 already. They're going to take 4. I'm going to take that. That's how we'll go from there,
Right.
So
Yeah. They told me that they're going to be sending like 4 something a month or something, or 5 something a month or something. Yeah, that's the same guy. Yeah.
Because he had asked me, see, this is before you had came down, and when I spoke to him, I told him, look, my deal's coming down. I'm just trying to get everything together, but when he comes down, so we can have a big old rolo. And he goes, oh, Simon, homie, this is what I got for now, but don't trip, I'll send more later. So I say, homie, whatever you could stand is highly appreciated,
Right.
And I.
So the amounts they're talking about, $400 or $500, don't seem like much. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you think of a Mexican Mafia member receiving $400 or $500 from an individual, and that's like chicken scratch, right? But think about this cumulatively. Think about the overall collections of one member. Maybe he's got 20 people paying $400 to $500 a month. Maybe he's got 30 people. Maybe he's got 5. It really depends on his business acumen, his socio-political skills, his managerial skills, and his crew's efficiency. That's how a guy earns, is through his crew and his ability to, really macromanage rather than micromanage. And here you see Tonito being a micromanager. And I think that's the fatal flaw in a lot of these members getting caught up on wires and getting indicted because they want to micromanage. They want to be involved in every decision, every individual who's dealing dope, every collection, whereas the forward thinker allows the crew to be self-sufficient. And I think you're seeing a lot of that micromanaging in these calls, particularly with Tonito.
También please send ours to your jefito on behalf of my deal. We all send ours. If there's anything we can be assisted of, to let us know,
Yeah, they did say homeboy was from San Diego. I wrote back and asked them if they were talking about Boo Boo, because Boo Boo has a son too that's busted from San Diego. Yeah, they did say Otai though. They did say Otai. So yeah, that's the same Baka right there. Yeah. I thought I had put Dean in contact with that person.
Wait, say that again?
I thought that I had put Dean in contact with that person because they had sent me an address, right?
Yeah.
And I sent that address to D, and I told D to go over there and talk to that person and to give them an address where they can send that feria,
Your call may be monitored or recorded.
Yeah, that's what they did. That's what Chapo had. D had got at me and told me to take care of it. So
Okay. Yeah, because I don't like D doing nothing, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So they send everything to me. It's in a postal money order, and
Okay.
and everything was cool. And
Okay, well, the next time you get a chance...
So he's talking about his brother D. I believe his name is David, if memory serves. And he's keeping him insulated from participating in any of the activities, which is one of the very few carteles I've seen do that. Most of them involve their families. I'm not going to paint them all with the same brush stroke, though, because some of them do insulate their families, which is a smart thing to do if you're involved in criminal activity, obviously.
Put like 500 on my books right here.
okay, I'll do that.
Okay? Because I'm going to be down here for 2 months. So, ain't no rush, right?
Okay, I'll do that.
Ain't no rush. But the next time they send the money down, the next time they send, Chaco sends money, use that money to put on my books.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay? But what I do want us to do is get all our resources together and start focusing on getting 30K so that we can get an attorney for me.
Okay, so that's for trouble, right?
Huh?
Who
No, that's for me. For me.
Oh, for you? Oh, okay. Now, look it. I'm pretty good with attorneys. I know a few of them. I got a good one for Lalo. So, do you want me to find you one, or you got your own?
You know somebody good, then you go ahead and take care of it then.
Hey, it's an appellate lawyer, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, I know the best one.
Okay, then hire that sucker when you get a chance.
Hey, I know the best one, and actually, to tell you the truth,
Have him come and visit. Hey, have him come and visit me.
okay, next time I go down, he's in San Diego. Next time I go down, I'll stop by his office, but he's the best one around. Any lawyer will tell you the best one around, they'll recommend him. Sure.
You got Lalo one, you said?
I got Lalo one, his name is Fletcher.
Lalo from Lomas?
From Lomas, yeah.
Okay, you guys helped him out get one?
So the individual by the name of Fletcher, I actually was cross-examined by this attorney who did represent Lalo Martinez. I remember the experience distinctly. Very hostile, arrogant individual. His name is Matt Fletcher. He had an office out of Long Beach, and he represented a lot of mobsters. He represented Suge Knight, actually. In fact, he was indicted as a result of entering a conspiracy with Suge Knight to, I think it was something with the jury. I know the specific case. It's just not coming to mind right now. But Matt Fletcher, the individual they're talking about here, well-known attorney, mob attorney, Suge Knight's attorney, was indicted, lost his license, and is no longer practicing in California right now. And it is true that Danger did arrange for Matt Fletcher to represent Lalo Martinez. And Lalo Martinez is also deceased. He overdosed in the county jail. This is another Mexican Mafia member who I testified against.
Yeah, well, actually, he asked me for a award if I know a good one, and I went over there. I know him personally, so I sat down with the lawyer. I hooked it all up. I got it to a cheap price, and it's been like that ever since.
Okay, that's cool then. Yeah, you could go talk to him about mine too then.
Yeah,
whatever resources you need, you got them other camaradas right there to pitch in. You know what I mean?
I'll do that. Now, the only thing I'm going to need is I'm going to have to get at your canal to give me some kind of paperwork to let me know your case, because I'm going to have to present it to him, and at that point he can let me know where to go from there, you know?
Okay, get at him. I'm going to call him in a little while, and I'm going to tell him to give you all the paperwork.
Okay.
And then the next time you get a chance, you go over there and see that dude, and make sure you pay him up front so we ain't got to hear nothing later, you know?
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, also, I was going to tell you,
how about that other dude, I think his name is Hawk or Huck?
Your call may be monitored or recorded.
His name's Huck. Yeah. Yeah, what's he doing?
I don't...
He knows about Huck because Huck was my crew chief. Huck was from Bell Gardens. He's actually kind of like my stepbrother. But he's trying to focus on him now. I've been dropped out for years. And obviously Tonito's got his sight on him. Remember I told you in past recording that Tonito's opportunistic. I mean, extremely opportunistic. And he tries to seize upon anything that's not anchored down or bolted down. So he believes that Huck is not under the direction of any carnales because I dropped out and Huck went and did his own thing. So this is the individual. I won't name his name, but he was part of my crew at one time. In fact, he was my crew chief. He ran my entire crew on the streets.
I heard he's busted. I don't know much about him, though.
Oh, okay. Well, leave him alone then.
Okay.
But that other guy, yeah.
Here's
I don't like...
Shotgun. Have you heard of Shotgun, Tonito?
Is he supposed to be somebody?
From Artesia? No, he's not.
No.
He comes around a lot. He fucks with... At first, he was fucking with her senator real bad. And he was talking to people against me.
Hey, let me tell you this, man. You know what? Be smart, but if some of them dudes don't want to pay attention to what you're saying, they're giving you trouble like that, shit.
Yeah.
But, nobody knows nothing,
I hear you.
Yeah, be real discreet about that shit, Holmes. You don't want to get caught up in nothing, but, just kick back and use your head and be smart. And, you try to be diplomatic with those individuals,
Yeah.
And then, if they can't see eye to eye with us, man, well, ain't nobody going to miss them.
Yeah.
That's pretty self-descriptive right there, and that's That's the ease with which can be eliminated in the organization. If you don't agree with one carnal or one crew who wants to tax you, then, like you said, you won't be missed.
Yeah, I tried to get in contact with that one dude that was calling the other day. Right now, all of a sudden, he don't have his number, you know? So I just go, fuck on him.
Oh, yeah, the dudes from the Brats.
Nah, they were actually from CR, that they were coming for the for Artesia.
Which one's from Artesia? Which one's from Artesia? Huh?
Daryl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember those Susan J guys, things that we met? Yeah. Remember the situation they had? Well, I called them right now and I said, give me a number for them.
So the individual he spoke of right now that the individuals from Artesia are working for is Daryl. That's Daryl Baka. Daryl Baka was my cellie up in Pelican Bay, very good friend of mine, or was. I'd say that in past tense. But that's who they're speaking of. Daryl Baka is also a Mexican Mafia member, and he controls a large swath of territory.
What Theo just asked you, though, is who were they saying they're coming on behalf? Artesia, which one? Daryl. Daryl? Yeah. Daryl's not from Artesia, though, not that I know.
Yeah, he is.
Who's that?
Yeah, Daryl's from Artesia, and so is China Boy.
Oh, okay. I only know Daryl from Ontario.
No, there's a Daryl. See, Daryl from Artesia, his name is Night Owl.
Right. Yeah.
His first name is Daryl, so they're going to call him Daryl. Some might call him Daryl, some might call him Night Owl. But his name is Daryl. His name is Daryl Holmes.
You had an agreement with him, no? Tito?
With who? Well, I had talked to homeboy Night Owl at the visiting, and I told him that his people were in my area, and he told me that he has family in the area. So what I'm saying is that I'm not moving out of that area, and neither is he, but just tell his people to stay on their side of the block, and we'll stay on our side of the block. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
That's it. And then when I get a chance to talk to Daryl, I'll let him know, you know. Hey, do you got his wife Phoebe's number?
Your call may be monitored or recorded.
So obviously Daryl Baka has somebody dealing drugs in Tonito's area, and Tonito is actually attempting to reach out to Phoebe Baka, who is the wife of Daryl Baka, in an attempt to resolve this issue.
We could get it. We could probably get it.
Well, if you can get it right now, I'll talk to her.
Right. Let me try to get it right now.
Okay.
Hey, Tonito. Hey, another thing is, we got a situation with the vatos from Victoria Park, okay? Now, Victoria Park is the one that is shooting with T, you know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they got a loose on them.
So do you want me to leave it on there, or do you want me to tell them if they could deal with homeboy?
So they're talking about a loose on Victoria Park. That's a green light. This is when this was still in effect. They could put a order to kill and assault members of a specific gang, which is called a green light. And again, this has since been stopped in a large part. But back then, it was pretty common for gangs to have green lights on them if they had committed some egregious act that wasn't agreed upon by the Mexican Mafia.
Come up with at least 20, then we'll get it off, or what do you want to do?
Did we ever get the guy that did it, or do we know who did it?
Well, okay, here's the situation.
Here's what we do. You tell them guys that we want 20 grand, and we want the vato that did it, period.
Okay, now, but this is what I was told. I was told that they were saying that was wrong because the vatos that did it were out to kill them too. That they're from our neighborhood, but they were on disregard. That it's a little family, they're brothers, that they wanted to kill them anyways. So they're saying that they're being punished for their doings, and we're trying to get them themselves.
Oh, they're trying to get them. Well, you know what? If they say, if they say they're going to take care of them dudes, then that's good. Then tell them to give us 20 grand, and then they take care of them dudes.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm going to go over there and talk to one of them that I know, and I'm going to fish a little bit more to see exactly how true that really is, and then I'll get back with you on a response on that.
Oh, okay. Hey, I got to go, man. Give me a minute. I'll talk.
So there you have it. You have Tonito putting the green light on Victoria Park and requesting $20,000. And another caveat to that was that they had to eliminate an individual who's responsible for some egregious act that was committed that offended Tonito. So you've been taken in depth into these conversations, and you see how Tonito operates, right? You know, like I said, he's since been eliminated. He was stabbed in Calipatria State Prison. You know, may he rest in peace. But that's the ultimate result of this type of life. I mean, this is a daily occurrence. This isn't, this isn't a abnormal for the average Mexican Mafia member. Everybody has crews. Everybody orders specific crimes to be committed, and it's happened a lot. You just don't hear about it. But thankfully, we've had a chance to share these wires with you. We really appreciate you listening. Stay tuned for more. More is to come soon. As always, like, subscribe, share with a friend.